Continuing from the previous episode 790. Haha. Since your kid has such a powerful strength, then you are naturally qualified to speak to me. And I'm not afraid to tell you. I am the hated boss among the 3 bosses guarding Moonlight Island. The hated boss said proudly. Quote. Seeing this, Xiao Yan and Mu Yingying couldn't help but their heads were full of black lines. The 2 of them had obviously already guessed the news. The medicinal materials in the purple bamboo forest should be the medicinal materials for refining the shape transformation pill. There are so many medicinal materials, I'm afraid that it is enough to make dozens of them. Xiao Yan immediately spoke out when he saw what the hated old monster was thinking. As expected of a pharmacist. Originally, I thought you were not simple, but because it is too mysterious, I only took action to capture your companion, mainly because I wanted to refine the shape-changing pill. The old hater saw that Xiao Yan was so smart, and he didn't show up. What to say? Speak directly. According to my perception, you are not a monster, senior, and refining the shape transformation pill is useless. Xiao Yan said with a smile. Of course, although the 3 monsters guarding Moonlight Island are called Hatred, and Vicious, this is just a title. In fact, we are also decent human beings, said the hated old monster. Although he has an indecent appearance now, he is a real human being. Since the senior is a human, why did you stay on Moonlight Island? Xiao Yan had many questions, so he could only ask. These problems, if you solve my troubles, I will naturally tell you, otherwise if you can't solve them well, not to mention your companions, even you, will die. Facing Xiao Yan's question, Hate the old monster is not stupid, just snorted. I don't know what is the big worry senior has. Xiao Yan was equally shocked when he heard this. Although this hated old monster has a slightly better attitude towards him now, his strength is comparable to that of the human 8-star fighting emperor in the early days, so unless he is forced to, he should not break out into conflict. It's very simple, you can refine the shape-changing pill for me, and I will handle other things naturally. He hated the old monster and was afraid that Xiao Yan would know his secret, so he immediately opened his mouth. Haha, what senior said is wrong. It's really the so-called parents' hearts of doctors. Although we pharmacists are not as good as doctors, refining medicinal pills is also a medical skill, so we have to prescribe the right medicine, otherwise how can we cure the disease? Xiao Yan is also an old fox, how can we not knowing the meaning of hating the old monster, he continued. Right, then I'll tell you. The old hater heard it, and he was right. After all, the person in front of him was a 2nd-grade emperor rank alchemist. Even if he told him the secret himself, if he couldn't solve it, he would just as usual. Just kill it. Do you know who this ruin belongs to? The old hater gave a deep voice, and then opened his mouth. The Fairy Moon? Xiao Yan blurted out. Yes, this relic belongs to Fairy Moon, but do you know what is in this relic? The old hater said. It is said that there are some heavenly and earthly treasures in the ruins. With the elixir, there seems to be a fighting spirit. Xiao Yan nodded thoughtfully. Hee, Do Soul, there is indeed something, but don't say that thing is you. Even I dare not move. Old Hate slowly shook his head. What? Xiao Yan was surprised when he heard this. The relic of the Fairy Moon is forbidding the entry of the 7-star Do Emperor complete powerhouse, otherwise it will be extremely powerful, but the hated old monster in front of him is the strength of the 8-star Do Emperor in the early stage, and if this kind of strength is powerless against Do Soul, I'm afraid they don't even need to think about it. Okay, don't say those things. My current strength has reached the middle stage of the 8-star Do Emperor, but due to the suppression of the ruins, my strength is only in the initial stage of the 8-star Do Emperor, and when I entered the ruins, I was trapped here. Thousands of years have passed and I have been reduced to a guardian here. But even so, I still want to go out. And because of the particularity of my cultivation, I entered the ruins just to get a magical beast. This monster has been kept in captivity by me now, but as the monster's strength became more and more tyrannical, I couldn't control him, and then there was the purple bamboo forest that you saw. The role of the Zizu forest is to suppress the magical beast I need, and on the other hand, it is also to refine the shape-changing pill, so that it can be consumed by the beasts. When taking the shape-changing pill is weak, I can also complete it. Take it out. Simply let me wait until the ruins are open this time, and I was fortunate enough to meet an alchemist. The old hater said a lot in one breath. What exactly is cultivation? you actually need monsters. However, being able to keep a beast in captivity is really scary enough to hate the old monster. Xiao Yan whispered, "How? Are you confident? If there is, I will take you to see the monster. After the event is completed, I will have a way for you to get in touch with the fighting spirit. As for whether you can conquer the fighting spirit in the end, it is unknown." Hate the old monster threw a piece an extremely attractive bargaining chip faced Xiao Yan. Why would this guy leave the fighting spirit and go find a demon beast? I'm afraid fighting the soul is the most difficult. Because of the particularity of cultivation techniques? Let's lie to the ghost. Although Xiao Yan smiled, he thought very quickly in his heart. Obviously, Xiao Yan was able to get to this point by relying on his extraordinary temperament. I don't know what kind of magical beast. Xiao Yan asked slightly in surprise. It's not a powerful monster either. It's the Emperor Leopard at the peak of the 8th rank Emperor rank. The hated old monster looked at Xiao Yan and opened his mouth slightly, his voice full of calmness. What's the matter? Imperial Leopard at the peak of the 8th rank Emperor rank? But the next moment, Xiao Yan's mouth couldn't close in surprise. I'll be darling. A magical beast at the peak of the 8th rank Emperor rank. This is a powerhouse that is comparable to the perfect human 8-star Do Emperor. For Xiao Yan, who is now a 6-star Do Emperor, this level of power is tantamount to death. Senior looks down on me too much. Our strength is weak. I'm afraid I can't help you. Xiao Yan refused immediately, then pulled Mu Yingying, who was in a daze, and was about to leave the purple bamboo forest. It was full of fear. And Mu Yingying was pulled by Xiao Yan like this, and she didn't come back to her senses immediately, because Mu Yingying had never seen the scene that Xiao Yan was afraid of. It's just that Xiao Yan showed fear on the surface, but his heart was full of joy, and he said slowly in his heart, "Want me to do free labor for you? Don't knock you hard." Boy, wait a minute, I didn't ask you to fight the Emperor Leopard. What are you afraid of as a man? The old hater was a little depressed. How could Xiao Yan be so timid? Senior, we can't help you with this task. The 8-star Do D perfection level monsters, I'm afraid we have not gotten close. So you'd better look for another wise man. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, Zaidu was about to leave. Okay, I still don't understand these little tricks of your pharmacists. As long as you can help me suppress the Emperor Leopard for a minute, I will tell you everything I know about the ruins. And it includes the fact that you have already reached the 6-star Do Emperor consummation, but there is no power of birth in your body," said the hateful old monster. After the hater said so, he was so stunned for a moment, then turned around and smiled brightly at the hater. Deal. Ask for tickets. There is one more later. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 791. Deal. As Xiao Yan's echo slowly echoed in the purple bamboo forest, the tone of hatred for the old monster became more relaxed. Although the hated old monster has enough confidence that Xiao Yan will not refuse, but now hearing Xiao Yan's answer, he can't help but laugh. At this time, Xiao Yan's heart became complicated. Originally, Xiao Yan had no intention of running away, just to extort more of the hated boss, but how could he think that the hated boss could see through his own problem at a glance? My main problem now is the strength of life. Xiao Yan's current strength has reached the 6-star Do Emperor consummation. According to normal circumstances, the general strength reaching the 5-star Do Emperor consummation will lead to passing the 6-star Do Emperor life tribulation. Birth force. The power of life is more powerful than the fighting spirit. It may be rude to say that Xiao Yan had cultivated Do Qi in Do Qi continent before, but when he came to Do Di continent, Do Qi has gradually turned into Emperor Qi, but Xiao Yan didn't pay too much attention to it. The Emperor's Qi changes and becomes the power of life. The power of life is more powerful than Do Qi or Emperor Qi. There is no doubt about that. This is also the biggest problem plaguing Xiao Yan at the moment. I can't think of how Xiao Yan would not be surprised if he was told by the hated old monster in this ruin. Don't look at me, I can say it, I have enough confidence. The hated old monster looked at Xiao Yan's surprised eyes, seemed to know his surprise, and immediately opened his mouth. Your situation is extremely special. If I didn't know from some places in the ruins, I'm afraid I can only do nothing now. But all you need to know is that I have a solution, said the hated boss. But what you want to know, you should wait until it's done. The old monster is very sensible and hesitant. On the one hand, he let Xiao Yan know that he really has enough capital to help him, and on the other hand, he did not finish his words. Let's go then, go early and return early. Xiao Yan heard the words and knew that the old hater was also a cunning old fox, so he didn't say more, just shrugged and smiled. Yingying, you stay here and take Leng Fuyao back. I'll be back in a while. Xiao Yan instructed and then spoke. Mu Yingying nodded slightly when she heard the words, and then said that she also knew that this trip was dangerous, so she knew that Xiao Yan was concerned about her not letting her go. Let's go. Hate the old monster is not in a hurry, only after Xiao Yan has arranged things, he speaks. After speaking, the figures of the two of them flickered directly, and then they disappeared directly into the purple bamboo forest. Where did you suppress the demon beast? Xiao Yan asked, chasing the hated old monster along the way. It's in the purple bamboo forest. The purpose of this purple bamboo forest is to cover up the monsters. The other two old monsters thought this was where I lived, but they didn't know that this was where I kept the monsters in captivity. He smiled slowly. As long as you devour this beast, your injuries will be healed, and then. Thinking of this, the hated old monster is a little excited. After all, he has been trapped in this ruin for thousands of years, and I am afraid that the human world has become unremarkable. He's really a daring guy. Xiao Yan couldn't help but say something after hearing this. Let's go. After a while, the old hater brought Xiao Yan to the depths of the Zizu forest. The purple bamboo forest here is different from other places, and Xiao Yan noticed the difference at a glance. The other purple bamboo forests, although strange, are far from making Xiao Yan feel strange, but the purple bamboo forest here actually made Xiao Yan feel an extremely fierce aura. It's here, said the hated boss. Senior, wait a minute, I'm afraid it will go on like this. It's better to apply a layer of defense to me. Xiao Yan was also not afraid of ridicule, and said directly and cheekily. You. The hated old monster heard the words and wanted to slap Xiao Yan to death, but he had to gnash his teeth and put a layer of defense on Xiao Yan before stepping forward slightly. Be careful, this time with you, I won't go down with the medicinal materials. I originally planned to plant these medicinal materials to refine the shape-changing pill, to lure the Emperor Leopard to swallow it, and take it away when it was weak. Unexpectedly, this beast is extremely cunning, and it failed several times. But with you here this time, I don't need these things, said the hateful old monster. Okay. Hearing this, Xiao Yan naturally wanted to show some strength, and immediately did not hesitate. Seeing that Xiao Yan was ready, the hated old monster immediately looked around, as if he had sensed the positions of the other two old monsters, and did not feel any abnormality, so he was relieved. Let's go. The hated old monster just finished speaking, and suddenly the seemingly flat purple bamboo forest in front of the two suddenly retreated, and then a road leading to the ground was revealed. Good guy. After a while, Xiao Yan's eyes lit up slightly, and he was quite surprised. If this passage is in the outside world, it would be fine, but if you want to get such a passage in the ruins here, I am afraid that it will cost a lot of manpower and material resources. Don't be surprised, what's more surprising is still to come. After saying that, the hated old monster directly took the lead and walked around. As the hated old monster walked towards the ground, Xiao Yan hesitated for a while, leaving a trace of soul power around the purple bamboo forest so that Mu Yingying and the others could find him, and then followed closely. Cuckoo! The hated old monster walked in front. After the two entered the underground passage, the purple bamboo forest was also closing, as if the sky was hard to detect. What a big hand! Xiao Yan and the two just walked for a while, and then the display became more open. Because what appeared in front of Xiao Yan at this time was an extremely huge hole, and the trees were overgrown with mountains and mountains, which looked like a miniature version of Moonlight Island. Hee hee, when I met the Emperor Leopard, I almost died under its claws, but I was lucky, and I spent a lot of money to get this underground. The hated old monster immediately laughed. I don't know where the Emperor Leopard is. Xiao Yan glanced around, but did not find the Emperor Leopard mentioned by the hated old monster, and immediately said, Hey, where is the Emperor Leopard's words? The hated old monster grinned when he heard this, and then pointed to a very tall hill in front of him. And Xiao Yan's eyes also followed the fingers of the hated old monster. It was a rather splendid hill. On the hill, there were weeds all over it, and the peak was uneven. It seemed to be several dozen meters long, but the higher he looked, the more Xiao Yan felt that a chill was sprouting in his body. Imperial Leopard? The next moment, when Xiao Yan finished scanning the photo, he exclaimed. At the same time, a terrifying aura like the awakening of a giant dragon also spread out. Continuing from the previous episode 792. Damn human, do you still dare to come? An angry shout, accompanied by the sound of landslides and fissures, slowly sounded underground. Hee, Emperor Leopard, why are you so angry? Isn't it okay to sit down and say something calmly? Facing the Emperor Leopard's powerful aura that was as powerful as an 8-star Doe Emperor, the aura suddenly burst out, and he said without fear at all. What a strong breath. Xiao Yan was extremely surprised. Although he had the defense of hating the old monster, he was shocked by the breath of the Emperor Leopard. The breath of the Emperor Leopard was like a vast ocean, which made people shudder. With the leopard's influence, Xiao Yan coughed violently. The breath of an 8-star Doe Emperor who is a complete powerhouse is still too reluctant for Xiao Yan, who is now a 6-star Doe Emperor who is consummate. Asshole! Hate the old monster. If this emperor breaks free from this bondage, this emperor will dig out your heart to thank me for the hatred in my heart. Emperor Leopard shouted. The next moment, Xiao Yan saw that a huge figure appeared out of thin air, and the hill pointed by the finger of the hated old monster actually stood up and turned into an Emperor Leopard. The Imperial Leopard has a slender body, and the snow-white leopard prints reveal a terrifying aura invisibly. There is a huge white leopard print on the forehead. If you look closely, there are actually 8 extremely snow-white leopard prints. This impressively demonstrates its current strength. Ba Dao. It symbolizes that the strength of this Emperor Leopard today is the perfection of the 8-star fighting emperor. If there is a 9th path, it will undoubtedly show that the strength of the Emperor Leopard has reached the 9-star fighting emperor. However, the anger of the Emperor Leopard turned into anger, but the body of several dozen feet did not move, as if it was imprisoned by something. What's wrong with this guy? Xiao Yan felt the terrifying strength of the Emperor Leopard, and immediately said, but the next moment Xiao Yan turned his attention to the abdomen of the Emperor Leopard. He saw that the powerful limbs of the Emperor Leopard were covered by something bound up. At first glance, it turned out to be a silver-white vindictive restraint. Rather than saying that it is the restraint of fighting qi, it is more suitable to say that the restraint of the power of life is more suitable. What a terrifying restraint! Xiao Yan stared at the substantial silver-white force of life restraint, and immediately muttered. Even with Xiao Yan's current concentration and strength, he immediately felt some vigilance. If he was bound by that silver-white life force, he would probably end up not much different from the Emperor Leopard. You see, it's this guy. All you need to do is buy a minute for me, and you don't have to worry about the rest. After this is done, I will tell you everything I know about this relic, including the fighting spirit and the fact that the power of life cannot be born in your body. At this time, a dazzling power of life appeared on the body of the hated old monster. Said solemnly, obviously facing the Emperor Leopard, even with his strength in the early days of the 8-star Doe Emperor, he was still troubled. This guy's strength is too terrifying. Xiao Yan also said in a low voice, even Xiao Yan wouldn't dare to face the enemy with a complete level of 8-star Doe Emperor. Boy, this is the biggest concession I can make. If you're with your mother-in-law, then you can't blame me. I think you're also a smart person. If you don't do anything, and you want to gain anything from me, I advise you to get rid of this idea as soon as possible. The old hater snorted coldly, obviously a little dissatisfied with Xiao Yan. I know, I will do my best. Faced with the words of hating the old monster, Xiao Yan naturally couldn't care less about him. And I'm not afraid to tell you that the restraint of the power of life at the foot of the Emperor Leopard was set by me. In order to get that thing, I didn't lose my power. And this Emperor Leopard has almost zero defense against soul power, so it seems that Xiao Yan agreed to cooperate, and the hated old monster also showed some sincerity. Really? Xiao Yan was shocked when he heard this. If the Emperor Leopard's defense against soul power was almost zero, this matter would be easy to handle. It's absolutely true. With a cold snort, he hated the old monster. Humph! You hate the old monster. For thousands of years, you can't help me, and now you're here to die with a 6-star Doe Emperor consummate human being. Although I was tricked by you in person, my current strength can get stronger and stronger, and if I have some time, I'm afraid you won't be able to trap me anymore. The Emperor Leopard's fierce eyes stared fiercely at the hated old man. Strange, he obviously wanted to slash him with 1,000 knives. As for Xiao Yan, he was automatically ignored by the Emperor Leopard. After all, a human with a perfect 6-star Do Emperor, the Emperor Leopard could instantly kill him. I was actually underestimated. But that's fine, it's good for my actions. Xiao Yan noticed that the Emperor Leopard was ignoring him, and immediately shrugged his shoulders slightly, but the soul power in his body bypassed the perception of the Emperor Leopard, and then slowly condensed. It's condensed. The rising soul power is even more terrifying than Huang Quantan's anger. I see that you are itchy. Look at the trick. The hated old monster realized that Xiao Yan was mobilizing his soul power, and immediately took action to cover up for Xiao Yan. Old guy. The Emperor Leopard snorted coldly, and immediately 8 snow-white leopard prints appeared directly on the forehead, and then slammed into the roaring old hater. Boom boom boom. The terrifying fluctuations of the 8-star Do Emperor level powerhouses dissipated in an instant. This short blow seemed to be flat, but the hated old monster knew that the strength of the Emperor Leopard had become stronger again. Will not be its opponent. These two guys hate that the old monster is the power of life of the water attribute. Judging from its strength, I am afraid it is enough to be the power of life of the 7th rank. As for the Emperor Leopard, this guy is clearly of the ice attribute. Attribute and water attribute, this is a bit of a lively look. Xiao Yan mobilized his soul power while observing the battle between the two. It is said that the 6-star Do Emperor Qi will give birth to the power of life, while the 7-star Do Emperor will give birth to the force attribute. As for what the 8-star Do Emperor possesses, Xiao Yan is more curious. Ha ha, I hate the old monster. I can't believe that after so many years, your strength has not increased but decreased. It seems that God really helped me. This time, since you're here, don't go back. After the Emperor Leopard finished speaking, the 8 leopard prints on his forehead suddenly radiated an extremely dazzling light. With the flickering of this dazzling light, the hated old monster suddenly realized something, and then looked at the places under the Emperor Leopard's feet that bound his body, but found that a sound like ice breaking suddenly sounded. It's troublesome now. Seeing this, the hated old monster felt a bit of solemnity in his heart. At the beginning, it cost a lot to restrain the Emperor Leopard. The Emperor Leopard's strength is too tyrannical. Even if it is restrained, there is no certainty of victory if hating the old monster. There is no way. Can't let it break free. The next moment, Xiao Yan's surprised voice sounded instantly. Xiao Yan knew that if the Emperor Leopard was freed from the bondage, the only thing waiting for the two of them would be death. The powerhouse of the 8-star Do Emperor consummation is so terrifying. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 793. Do it. Hearing Xiao Yan's words, the hated old monster immediately knew the seriousness of the matter, and without hesitation, he suddenly shouted at Xiao Yan, and then his figure moved. Ha ha ha. Hate the old monster, it's too late. Although the asterisk of your life force is strange, the 4 bondages have now been broken. It seems that today is your death. The Emperor Leopard was indifferent to the actions of hating the old monster. Even if he hated the old monster very fast, he came to the foot of the Emperor Leopard in a short time. He was just about to strengthen his restraint, but it was still a step too late. Bang bang bang. He heard a sound like the withering of ice cubes, and then the shackles of life force that had firmly bound the Emperor Leopard's front feet were instantly shattered and turned into nothingness. Damn it! Seeing this, the hated old monster secretly cursed himself. Obviously he was too careless just now, and he didn't realize that the Emperor Leopard was still hiding such a hand. The strength of the Emperor Leopard is already extremely terrifying. In addition to the fact that the monsters are born with some places that are more terrifying than humans, even if it is the same strength as the 8-star Do Emperor, hating the old monster does not have the absolute strength to defeat the Emperor Leopard. In the early days of the 8-star Do D, it was not to mention facing the mighty Emperor Leopard. Boom boom! Just when the hated old monster was thinking under the feet of the Emperor Leopard shouted, and then the wide front feet of dozens of meters suddenly lifted up, and he stepped on the hated old monster viciously. Such a terrifying blow carries sky-shattering power. If you step on the hated old monster, I am afraid that it will be killed in an instant. Wow! The Emperor Leopard's seemingly terrifying attack stepped on the air with one foot, and then stepped on it a little puzzled. However, his gaze was at his feet, and a strange silver light suddenly appeared, and then the figure of hating the old monster disappeared. Let's pass. Xiao Yan can be regarded as a trustworthy person. He just saw that the hated old monster failed to stop him, and he was still thinking at the feet of the Emperor Leopard. Immediately, the dazzling silver light flashed all over his body, and it was a space teleportation formation. Are you all right? Xiao Yan immediately asked when he saw the hated old monster being teleported to him by his space teleportation formation. I'm fine, but this Imperial Leopard seems a little tricky. In the past, the Emperor's Leopard's limbs were bound, which greatly reduced its danger. Now its limbs have been freed, even if it is me. The eyes of the hated old monster flickered with a hint of disappointment. Count to this step. Don't worry, leave it to me. It will be like this for a while. Xiao Yan smiled when he heard the words. Anyway, no one knows the truth of taking people's money and eliminating disasters for others, so now facing this situation, Xiao Yan naturally has to show some of his skills. Is this feasible? The hated old monster listened to Xiao Yan's method, and was immediately apprehensive. Although this method is feasible, if it fails, I am afraid that the two of them will become the Emperor's Leopard's meal today. Xiao Yan's method is extremely dangerous, but it is not impossible. As long as it doesn't reach the 9-star Do D, I can succeed, and even if I can't kill with one hit, it's enough to buy you a minute. Xiao Yan didn't explain too much to the hated old monster. After all, some things are own secret. Ha ha ha, I hate the old monster. How do you fight this Emperor now? The feet in front of the Emperor Leopard were released, and he laughed wildly. The sound was full of wildness, and even the air was full of danger. Don't be too happy too soon. Look at the move. After the old hater finished speaking, he instantly disappeared beside Xiao Yan, but some flames appeared strangely on the hands, and these flames came from Xiao Yan. What a strange flame! Emperor Leopard looked at the strange and gorgeous flame on the hated old monster, and immediately exclaimed, as opponents with hated old monster for so many years, the two of them can be said to be quite clear about the details, so see you now when hating the flames on the old monster. Emperor Leopard couldn't help but wonder. Free. Fire hand. Not long after, Xiao Yan gave Di Yan, who hated the old monster, and suddenly turned into a dazzling flame ring, and attacked the Emperor Leopard viciously. The place where he attacked was actually the Emperor Leopard just now. Free your front feet. Humph. Upon seeing this, the Emperor Leopard snorted coldly, and a dazzling energy of life burst forth, and in a short time, the flame ring was wiped out. Ha ha ha. Die. The Emperor Leopard immediately laughed out loud when he saw the flame ring just showed a trace of fear on the cheek of the hated old monster. But before the Emperor Leopard could do anything, a shock that was willing to the depths of his soul suddenly echoed from the Emperor Leopard's mind, and at the same time, an extremely loud voice came out slowly. Huang Quantan's anger. Xiao Yan just finished speaking, a terrifying wave burst out in his pupils, and then without hesitation, the invisible soul attack that was enough to obliterate everything instantly shot. The Emperor Leopard was attacked by Xiao Yan's sudden blow, and immediately the snow-white pupils were slightly bleeding, and the voice trembled, as if extremely frightened. Break it for me. At the next moment, Xiao saw that his soul power had an effect, and immediately stepped up the attack of his soul power, trying to subdue the Emperor Leopard with his own power. There's a show. The hated old monster saw Xiao Yan's terrifying soul attack and secretly said something. Fortunately, he didn't provoke the guy at the beginning. Otherwise, I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to deal with such terrifying soul power. Hate the old monster, it's your turn. At the next moment, as the snow-white pupils of the Emperor Leopard fell into a brief stagnation, Xiao Yan said suddenly. Obviously Xiao Yan wielded such a terrifying soul attack, although the Emperor Leopard temporarily fell into a coma among them, but his own situation is also extremely bad. I know. Seeing this, the hated old monster was overjoyed immediately. His views on Xiao Yan were at a higher level. Although he had long known that the pharmacist's soul was powerful, such a sudden attack directly caused the Emperor Leopard to stalemate. He was amazed. Leave it to me next. The next moment, the hated old monster didn't hesitate. The dazzling vitality of life suddenly burst out, and then under Xiao Yan's eyes, he eroded into the body of the Emperor Leopard. Wing Om Om. Even if Xiao Yan was attacked by such a huge soul force and fell into a sluggishness, the Emperor Leopard was so terribly eroded by the hated old monster, and immediately the huge body sent out a terrifying shock. Imperial Leopard, death to me. Seeing this, the hated old monster was overjoyed immediately, and then he opened a mouth on half of his face, and suddenly absorbed the huge Imperial Leopard into it. Boom boom boom. Success. Xiao Yan immediately felt relieved when he saw that he hated what the old man was doing to the Emperor Leopard. Ask for tickets. 4 more today. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 794. Boom boom boom. At this time, in the underground covered by the purple bamboo forest, the dazzling vitality of the hated old monster emerged, and then the greedy aura seemed to want to swallow the sluggish Emperor Leopard. Asshole, how can you, a mere 6-star Do Emperor, have such a terrifying soul power? Impossible. The Emperor Leopard regained its calm in the next moment, but was seriously injured by Xiao Yan's soul power just now, and immediately roared at Xiao Yan. Imperial Leopard, it's too late. I've waited for so many years, and today I finally got my wish. Die. The strange voice of the hated old monster just finished speaking, and suddenly some mysterious marks quickly changed on his hands. And Xiao Yan can clearly feel that since the mysterious mark on the palm of the hated old monster appeared, the energy of the surrounding world has changed rapidly. Give it to me. After a while, the hated old monster hummed suddenly, and the overwhelming force of life rushed towards the Emperor Leopard. The Emperor Leopard had already been seriously injured by Xiao Yan's soul power, but now faced with the hatred of the old monster, his natural power was incapacitated. After a while, the snow-white body of the Emperor Leopard was actually hating the mysterious power of the old monster. Wisdom teeth faintly melted. Sign. Ah. The screams of pain echoed in this space, but the hated old monster was unmoved, still changing the handprint, and as the handprint did not change, the power of the Emperor Leopard poured in one more point in its body. Next, you just need to wait. Seeing that the Emperor Leopard was dying, Xiao Yan immediately understood that all he needed to do now was to wait and wait for the hated old monster to finish dealing with the Emperor Leopard. However, what makes Xiao Yan strange is that this Emperor Leopard is clearly a monster, and this hated old monster actually wants to absorb it directly by means of some special methods. Xiao Yan still admires this courage. After all, not everyone can do this. If this group is not handled well, I'm afraid they will explode and die. However, Xiao Yan found that as the hated old monster absorbed the power of the Emperor Leopard, the initial strength of the 8-star Do Emperor had faint signs of breakthrough, and even half of the face beyond recognition was full of vitality. For peculiar, forget it, wait and see. You hate the old monster, if you are treachery, then you can't blame me. Xiao Yan looked at the hated old monster who was concentrating on absorbing the power of the Emperor Leopard, and said a word in his heart, and then he stopped talking. The hated old monster seemed to be aware of Xiao Yan's gaze, and immediately became slightly vigilant, but at this time, the hated old monster obviously didn't have time to care about Xiao Yan. Outside the purple bamboo forest, Mu Yingying and her party. Mu Yingying? Not long after Xiao Yan and the others entered the purple bamboo forest, Mu Feng saw Mu Yingying's figure at the entrance of the purple bamboo forest, and even saw Lang Fuyao, who was lost by the mysterious power. However, he did not see Xiao Yan's figure. Why is it just the two of you? Where's Xiao Yan? When Yueru saw this, only the two of them came out and felt a bad premonition, so she spoke immediately. I'm sorry, I'm not obliged to tell you. Mu Yingying naturally has her pride. After all, how can someone who can possess holy flame not have any pride? Moreover, Mu Yingying found out that Yueru seems to be quite hostile to herself this month, although Mu Yingying still doesn't know where this hostility comes from. Yueru's words made her panic. Don't. Shu Qi naturally knew that she was writing a little junior sister, and since she saw Xiao Yan, she seemed to have lost her soul. She looked at Yueru and got a little angry, and immediately said, Xiao Yan is fine. What kind of cooperation has he reached with the hated old monster who lives in the purple bamboo forest, so let's come out first. Lang Fuyao woke up naturally. Seeing that Mu Yingying and Yueru were fighting each other, he came out and explained. The people who live in this purple bamboo forest are those who hate the old? Yueru was surprised when she heard the words. Because according to the information from the inheritance rune to her, it seems that this purple bamboo forest is only the territory of hating the old monsters, but it is not the residence of hating the old monsters, so at this time, Yueru can't help thinking about the authenticity of the inheritance runes. Yep, this purple bamboo forest is filled with hated old monsters. Just after Xiaoyan and I entered, we found that the purple bamboo forest is full of crises, but fortunately there are some Xiaoyan, and the two of us saved the danger. Mu Yingying naturally wouldn't he cares too much about Yueru, looked at everyone's expectations, and said immediately, I don't know what kind of cooperation Xiaoyan and the hater have reached. The next moment, Qin Xin also asked, obviously curious about this question. This, we don't know either. Leng Fuyao and Mu Yingying both shook their heads. Let's just wait here for him to come out. After thinking for a while, Mu Yingying couldn't help but speak. Alright, after all, the purple bamboo forest is too dangerous. Mu Feng nodded in agreement. Be careful, I feel that many powerful people have entered Moonlight Island, and there is only one road to Moonlight Island. I'm afraid it won't take long for those people to catch up with us. Shu Qi looked at the people who came in at the beginning. The Moonlight Island channel opened his mouth immediately, obviously there were some concerns in his voice. After all, with Shu Qi's strength in the early stage of the 7-star Do Emperor, he can feel the pressure, so let alone the others who have not reached the level of the 7-star Do Emperor. They came in? Mu Feng was shocked when he heard this. He knew the horror of the mysterious gossip above the Iron Gate. Yep, although the gossip Iron Gate at the entrance of the ruins is extremely terrifying, after so many years of erosion, it is obviously dilapidated, so it can't stop them for too long. And I found out when we just took the sea monster to Moonlight Island. Shu Qi continued. What did you find? Yueru immediately became vigilant when she heard the words. At that time, when I looked down from a height, what I saw was a crowd of black people. When I wanted to come, they would have already come to the ruins sea area. So now, I'm afraid I've already entered Moonlight Island or Jade Rabbit Island. Shu Qi said solemnly. As for this time, although they took advantage of Xiaoyan's cleverness to take the lead, they were the first team to enter the ruins, but as time went by, other powerhouses also entered the ruins one after another. That is to say, the competition in the ruins will become more and more fierce. Qin Xin answered, Good. Almost all the outstanding disciples of the super sects have come this time, so this time, I am afraid it will be a real contest for the younger generation of Xuanxin-san. After Shu Qi finished speaking, she became vigilant now. Then you have to be more careful. Qin Xin said, and then a heavy feeling appeared in everyone's heart. They all knew that the real cruel competition had just begun. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter.